Hi, Future Eagles. This is Janelle Harris again, admissions counselor at the Great Coppin State University. I am here with some of our wonderful students, whom some of them I call my pumpkins, and they will be sharing some of their experiences with you today. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat box. If there are any students who joined this session after it has started recording, then definitely you can always send me an appointment request, and we can start to answer your questions as needed. All right, so we're going to get started, and I'm going to let you guys introduce yourselves. Please let us know your name, your major, your classification, and if you hold any titles on campus or any leadership roles on campus. And we're going to go ahead and start with the youngest member of the bunch, Kayla.
Okay, well, my name is Kayla. I'm a freshman. Currently, I'm a biology major, but I'm getting it switched over to nursing. And my title is I'm Miss Freshman on the Royal Court.
Awesome. And then we have Umi.
Hi guys. My name is Umi. I am a nursing major. I am a junior here at Coppin State, and I am a senior student ambassador.
Hi, Pumpkin, I miss you. Okay, did she hear me? Kayleen?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. I'm Kayleen. I'm a sophomore. I'm a nursing major. I'm in the ROTC program, and I am currently serving as Miss Sophomore in Royal Court.
Awesome. And Lionel?
How y'all doing? My name is Lionel Williams. I'm currently a graduating senior. I'm a criminal justice major, and I serve for the senator for the lunch table, also known as TLT.
Awesome. And I don't know if Ashanti is there, but when she comes in, we will make sure to get her to introduce herself. Okay, so first, let's ask this question. Why did you choose Coppin? And you can go in any order you choose, but why did you choose to attend Coppin State University? And you can be honest, because I tell you guys to be honest all the time. Some students say, well, it wasn't my first choice, but now I love it. But what made you decide to attend? And I know, Umi, you did a campus tour.
I can go first then. Coppin was not my first, my last. I had no clue about Coppin actually until my senior year. Miss Snell's right. I came and did a campus tour. I want to say like March because it was during my spring break. Um, I didn't fall in love with the campus, but my mom did. And if you don't know, Coppin is great for the nursing program, and this is what I need to come to school for. So at the end of the day, money wasn't really being given the way it needed to be, and Coppin was a cheaper choice for me. And so I ended up picking Coppin, not too far from home, and I always have the option to go out of state for my master's. But I love Coppin now, so that's all that matters.
What is it about Coppin that you like now?
um, so academic wise, I always like break it down academic and socially, but academic wise, I like the small classrooms. I learn better in smaller settings. Getting that one-on-one time with professors and other students. At a bigger university, I feel like I would have got lost a lot, and being able to have that face to face, although it's Corona, not too much face to face, but being able to have in the past that face to face and that one on one time was great. Socially, um,
Yeah, you know I was going to ask that question next. It's like you were reading my mind.
let me get there. Socially, college is what you make it. I literally have. I don't really mess with too many people on campus. I mean, and that's just the type of personality that I have. But I met my roommate my freshman year, and we've been rolling ever since, like two peas in a pod. And so, if you ever hear that, like college is where you make your lifelong friends. I will honestly say that is one thing that has came true for me. But socially, I would say it's okay. I say that you really have to get out there. You have to be active in order to make your social life how you want to on campus.
Yeah, when we first met Umi, she was kind of like, I don't know, I want to meet some people, but I don't know what to do. And we kind of pushed her to becoming a student ambassador, and she became a lead ambassador um, in her first semester, freshman year. And I didn't
Yep.
even want to have a freshman as a
And I
student
was the best
ambassador.
on your team.
She was the best student ambassador I could ever have. One of them. Can't just say just you.
I
'Cause,
mean, you know,
but
if
the
you want
cluster, you
to.
did a really good job. So
Yeah.
yeah, but you were very like administrative, took charge, took everything by the reins. So Lionel, because you're the oldest student, not oldest by age, but oldest in terms of collegiate career, why did you choose Coppin?
So originally, to be completely honest, Coppin wasn't my first choice. But at the same time, I chose the school for various reasons. I didn't mention earlier, I'm also a part of the honors college here on campus. So definitely I got tuition. I got basically most of my school paid off. So, no debt sounds nice. And to be completely honest, during my freshman year, my first semester, I was in a relationship. So I wanted to be close to home. So I ended up going here. So yeah, that's a couple of the reasons why I originally chose Coppin.
And so now that you have chosen Coppin, what does that look like for you? I mean, you've been here the whole time.
I mean, honestly, being here outside of everything that happened, I fell in love with Coppin. It's amazing. As far as me, like Umi said, college is what you make it, really. It doesn't matter whether you go to a big university, small university, because people like to compare schools. Your friends might compare schools like, oh, my school does this, like Morgan does this, but Coppin does that. It's really just what you make out of school is really just a mindset.
Awesome. Kayleen, let me ask you this, Kayleen, because you are one of our Latinx students. And a lot of people don't think that there is diversity on a college campus, an HBCU college campus. So what made you choose Coppin, especially as a Latinx student? And like, you're like the Latinx ambassador for me right
Yeah, so
now.
I would love to go, and I added that in the comments for the survey.
Okay. Oh,
No,
okay.
so I told you I took my gap year after my senior year with the military. So within that year, Coppin was not my first choice. I never heard of Coppin until I took my gap year. So, like I mentioned before, when I went to the orientations, I really felt that culture that I didn't find when I went to what I thought was my number one school, which is a PWI. It was like no culture. It was just a white dominant like environment. And when I came to Coppin, it was different seeing like that one-on-one with people, the all like the clubs, the dances, and everything. It really made me feel like I was home with my like Latin friends or my thing like Guatemala, just having that like good time with them and feeling like I'm welcomed at this university compared to being maybe facing racism at a PWI like I did face like well not me personally but like my classmates did at my high school stuff like that. So that really made me feel very welcomed, and I'm loving Coppin so much now.
You're like super active as well. All of you are actually active, which is an awesome thing because, like you guys said, college is what you make it. And I think that sometimes students see social media and they'll see one school and they'll think, oh, it's a party. They had party this day. And then they go on a campus and it's not a party every day. That was just once out of, it was just one time. And you can have that experience if you choose to participate. I know that a lot of students, like you said, Lionel, will compare schools, and it's all about participation. If you don't participate, you're not going to get anything out of it at all. So be mindful of that to the students who are interested in pursuing admission into any institution, but especially Coppin. Ashanti, you joined us, but you're sideways on my camera. You're right side up now. So do you want to introduce yourself and your major and your
Yes.
year and whatever
Okay.
all of the leadership opportunities you do on campus?
Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm Ashanti. I'm a senior. I'm a criminal justice major. I'm the student activities and programming chair here at Coppin State University. What was the question that
And
everyone was
that's it.
answering?
That's all. That's all.
No, I'm in a lot. Okay. I'm in Alpha Lambda Delta. I'm the secretary of the National Council for Negro Women. I'm getting there. I'm the financial secretary for the Zeta Epsilon chapter, Delta Sigma Theta. What else? I'm in a lot of stuff, y'all.
You
It's
are.
like y'all gotta get involved.
Are you an RA too?
No, I'm not an RA.
Oh, I thought you were a resident assistant. My bad.
No.
So why did you choose Coppin? Because I know we had a discussion before too. And every time I have a discussion with students, most of the time it's like, well, students, I would say in other areas other than Baltimore City, they say, I didn't really know about Coppin, and that really wasn't my first choice. And it's more so because they didn't know anything about Coppin. So what made you choose Coppin?
I chose Coppin because I got accepted into the honors college. So, and I didn't want to be on a big campus. Coppin was pretty small, and after I did the tour, I felt very welcomed. It seemed pretty fun, and I was like, it's easy to get around. So that's why I came to Coppin. I really didn't know much about Coppin when I was in high school, but after I was on campus, it really felt like home. So I was like, let me go to Coppin and see what's popping at Coppin, and now I love it.
And Kayla, you are not a stranger to Coppin. You are a Coppin legacy. So what made you end up choosing Coppin, even though I know you had other options on the table? What made you end up choosing Coppin?
So Coppin, it wasn't my first choice because I was a legacy student and, it was a family school for me. But after like weighing my options and getting into the honors college too, it just fit for me. I didn't want to go far from home and I didn't want a big HBCU like campus size. So I felt like this was just perfect at the end here.
And are you enjoying yourself now? This is your first semester. I know that through COVID, it's been different, but have you enjoyed your experience thus far?
Yeah, so far is because I'm on Royal Court, so I get to do like activities with SAPB and everybody else. So it gets me out of my room. But yeah, Corona definitely put a change on my experience so far.
Now, 3 of you mentioned that you were in the honors program. How is your experience in the honors program? Is it challenging for you? Did it challenge you to pursue different classes, different opportunities?
I think for me, the biggest challenge with the honors college.
Oh, wait a minute, you're in the honors college too?
I am.
Oh my goodness, so all 4 is 4. Wait a minute, Umi, are you in the honors college yet? Because I did write. Okay. All right, so 4 of you in the honors college. Okay, so Kaylee, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
Sorry, I put my camera off because I'm walking right now. But the biggest challenge for me was I'm in ROTC and doing some other courses, so it's just putting all my like making my schedule to fit at most 18 credits because I'm not allowed to take 21. So I have to do winter and summer classes to make sure I'm on top because I need to do like the other like ROTC classes or the other nursing classes, and so I have to get like some exceptions that I can't take certain classes. So that's my biggest challenge, putting everything in my schedule.
Okay. Anybody else? Do you like the accessibility to the program, the opportunities that the program can offer?
For me,
I can go.
go
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
No, go ahead. I hear you. Go ahead.
Classes aren't difficult, but it is a challenge at the same time because other freshmen, they're like, oh, I only have 15 credits, so I only got to take this many classes. Well, I don't have an English class. And I'm looking at my credits and I'm like, well, I have 17 credits and I have to take this English class or that English class. So it's a little more difficult than other students are taking, but it's not. The course level isn't that hard. It's just you really have to keep up with your assignments because they're not going to take late work. They're not going to say this and that. They're like, okay, you're an honor student, so you got to be on your stuff. So that's the thing for me.
Ashanti, were you going to say something?
Just piggybacking what off Kayla said, the honors college will really make you meet your full potential. It will really challenge you. There's a lot of opportunities. It looks good on your resume. There's a lot of good workshops. They're very informational. It is a challenge though. Like you really have to have the mindset to go through it. But I really feel like my college experience has been better since I've been in honors college.
Lionel, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll add in something. Just to piggyback off of them. Personally, I had my rough patches in the beginning, but I love the honors college. I mean, I've met some great people through the honors college. As far as education is concerned, just so anybody who doesn't know, the honors college prepares you for grad school. I mean, you can still be in it, but that's really their purpose, and they'll tell you that. But it really gets you far. Just this semester through the honors college, I went to a HBCU career marketplace conference. I also went last year with Ashanti. It really gives you opportunities and prepares you for things that typically, if you just was going to college on your own, I mean, of course, you know, your advisors will help you out, but they go above and beyond what a typical advisor or anybody else would do for you.
Awesome. Now, all of you have stated that you're involved in extracurricular activities in addition to your schoolwork, in addition to possibly even working. What would you say to students, incoming students? How is it managing your time and still being able to have a college experience and still meeting those academic standards? And don't you all just take yourself off of mute at once.
I'll start. Getting involved, you have to have a plan. Like I have a planner now, but before my freshman year, I'm like, I want to join everything. I remember Clubs and Orgs Day. I'm signing my name at every table because I'm like, I want to see what everything's about. But you really have to have the mindset to do work and have fun. Because at the end of the day, everything is going to look intriguing, but you got to know what your goal is and you have to have a plan. But I say get involved because that's the best way to make connections, and it's easier for you to get through your schoolwork when you build connections with people and you just make the best out of your experience.
Kayla, how has it been for you to manage your time coming in, being Miss Freshman, like your first semester?
It wasn't that hard. Like Ashanti said, I have a planner, so I put like when the semester first started and all the professors gave you your syllabus, I put down all my exam dates, all the midterms and all that stuff. So that way, when I did join Royal Court, I knew like, okay, well, I have to make sure this is done before that. But it really didn't really, what am I trying to say? It didn't really mix up with my schedule that much because, you know, Corona and everything, so we don't have as much events to go to. But still, at the same time, it was still helpful to map out everything.
Anyone else have any time management skills, advice?
Yeah, I would say something because especially as someone who's to graduate this semester, so I'm not just going to class. I'm also working, looking for jobs, making sure I have my portfolio together and things like that. So like Ms. Harris said, and everybody's been saying, time management is very important. Okay to miss the parties. There's going to be parties. All the parties are the same. I mean, when COVID ends, obviously. But even during this COVID time, classes are definitely a lot more stressful now. So it's like you have to come in with a game plan, like Ashanti said. It's not something that you can just, it's not high school, to be blunt with you, where you can just go in and just, oh yeah, I'm gonna pass today and just do whatever. You actually have to plan it out because the professors, not saying that they don't care about you, but whatever other class that you take has nothing to do with them. So you have to have a strict game plan. Like someone else on the panel said, I'm sorry I didn't get your name, but a planner, things like that, that's all helpful. You just have to know yourself and how you want to come.
Let me tell you, it doesn't end. I'm in grad school now, and the planner is real. It's a thick, big old planner, and it's real. And sticky notes, everything, all of it is real. Get one. If you are a student that is interested in going to college, that is going to be like your saving grace to know when you have to do something. because you're in school to graduate, and we still want you to build your leadership and have fun, but we don't want you to miss class and fail class, and you can't use that as an excuse. Oh, well, I was a part of the Royal Course, so I couldn't do my schoolwork. That's not an excuse. That doesn't fly at Coppin. So Ashanti, you are the Student Activities Program and Chair.
Wait,
And
can I add on?
oh, sure, absolutely. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
You okay? I was just gonna say, like, a part of time management is holding yourself accountable. That's like a really big thing. So like this semester, I only have one class that I actually have to log on for, and the rest of them is do it on your own time, is do it this due date. So if I didn't have like a time management, I didn't have a planner, I didn't know my stuff was due, and I was just kind of like going with it. Me having self-discipline allows for me to say, okay, I have this and this and that to do, but it's due on Thursday. That means that I need to knock that out on Monday. Or I need to sit there and wake up at 6 and be done with my work by 12. You have to really create times for yourself and stick to those times. If I've learned that if I create times for myself to actually get up and do stuff, it gets done and I retain the information because I did it when I was able to do it. I also worked this semester, so like having a job and just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. I should have got up before and did it before I went to work, but it's due tonight, so it don't even matter. I still got to do it. Like making sure that you're holding yourself accountable to get that work done, because the teacher will just say it's late and they not taking it. Like they're holding you accountable, but not really.
I have some friends who are teachers, and I think that that's the one thing that's I'm noticing that is a difference and that students don't really understand from high school to college. There are no exceptions sometimes in college, whereas a teacher in high school might say, oh, you have an extension until Friday. Sometimes it does not happen in college. And so no student should come into college thinking it's going to be exactly like high school. And you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable when you get to college, because it's going to it's going to rock your whole world. It's going to turn everything upside down and then turn you right side up again. And so you have to be cognizant of that. But you said something that I really want to touch on, Umi, and that's the accountability factor. And I think sometimes people come to college wanting a whole lot of friends, and social media has made this a trend that people need to have a ton of followers and a ton of friends. But that accountability factor is very important in your friendships as well. And I know that you keep your circle very small. Is that why one of the reasons why you keep your circle small is ensuring that you have people that are like-minded and not going to be a distraction?
That's one of the reasons, yes. I mean, for me, yes, it's finding people that are like-minded. Also, I've noticed like with my generation, people don't know how to hold a conversation. And that was something that I was taught at like a young age, of holding conversations. And so like it is about social media nowadays. And I'll just say that like friends will be there. Like, people will come and go in your life. And so like, but your education's right now. Like, I know people on campus. It may just be like, oh, because I met you, but like, focusing on like what's the point right now, which is getting the education. And if friends come along in that journey, then that's even better instead of you going out and seeking them. You kind of seeking them the relationship may not end up how you want it to all the time.
And Ashanti and Kayleen, I saw you guys shaking your head. Are you in agreement with that?
Yes.
Yes.
Keep your circle small.
I like to talk to a lot of people, but that doesn't mean that's like my group. I like to keep my little like friends so I can tell like how I'm feeling throughout the day, like kind of small. But I love to be very social. I keep those things very separate.
Absolutely. Okay, so now we're back to you, Ashanti, with the whole social part. Because you're the student activities programming chair, there are a lot of things for students to get involved in on campus. But what would you get? What advice would you give a student that wants to just pursue everything? Like you said, I want to be in part of everything. And when I was at Coppin, I was just like you, a part of everything. But there were some pros and cons to that. what advice would you give a student coming in wanting to do everything?
Okay, because I am a student that want to do everything. I'm telling y'all, my resume is like 3 pages long, for real. Like, just really, really weigh your options. Like, think about your wants and your needs. Know your limits. If you know you can't handle a lot of stuff, if you know you fold under pressure, if you know that you can get overwhelmed easily and stressed, do not do it. Everything is going to look fun. Everything is going to look appealing, but everything is not for you. It's okay to try things, talk to people, see, what their experience is, but really don't go for everything, because that was my problem. I went to a point in time where I was having mental breakdown, stressing out because I wanted to be in a leadership position for everything. And I'm like, I cannot manage all of this stuff, all these meetings, I cannot do it. So really just tread lightly with that, but make sure you are involved though, but just don't go for everything. Please. Please.
It's not necessarily a good thing to be a part of everything. Sometimes you just need to pump your brakes and just realize, you know what? It's okay if I don't do this semester. If I don't go to this party this time, I can go another time. When you said that, it made me think of something. Oh man, that was a really good question too. What did you say that I forgot? I can't think. I can't think of what it was. But back to academics. I know a lot of students will see other campuses and they'll say, well, that campus is lit and that's the school I want to go to because they had this party and their homecomings are lit. What is the reality that a campus is lit all of the time? Because as a recruiter, I tell students, campuses are not like that all the time. They're not. You're going to see the highlights, not the everyday, because they'll go on a campus and say, this is not what I thought it was going to be. So what is college really like? Because we don't want to just share the lit parts. We want students to know the reality. Like, what is the everyday life of a student?
Making sure like you're always studying for all your classes, because some classes require more studying than others, and you can't just be like, okay, I'll study for anatomy this day and just do it for once a week. You have to like prioritize which ones require more of your time to like focus on your like weaknesses and your strengths. So like my college life is mostly just around studying and like making sure I'm planning out all my events, or like with my military things, making sure I'm handling that side. Like today I had to take my final during my military duty, so I have to manage like my prep, like my time and everything. That's my college life.
Anybody else? What is college? What is campus life? What does it look like? What is the real reality of everyday life on a college campus?
I would say for me, going back to before this whole COVID thing happened, my average day, go to class, come back, do my assignments. And if I had enough time to do something else, then I would. But majority of the time, I didn't. And like you said earlier, no college campus is really like lit as someone will make you feel. The only real time is lit is probably during homecoming, and that's about it. Other than that, school is a college is a school. School is meant for education. You came to get a degree. You didn't come to make friends, but you meet friends, you make connections along the way. But you got to remember, that's what school is about. It's about your education.
I tell students that all the time, you're here to graduate. That's your first priority, and everything else can come after. But your first priority is to graduate. I even put my transcript on my wall in my office, so when my students would come in, they could see all the times that I failed because I was doing too much and not prioritizing academics before. I got it together. I graduated. I'm in grad school, but I had to show my students that this is the product of not putting academics first, like you said. Ashanti, did you have something to say to that? Umi, Kayla?
I was just gonna say, if we ever get the chance to be regular again, if anybody ever goes in Miss Janelle's office, you will not feel bad about yourself. If you think you're doing bad, you're not doing that bad. But I will say
all
that
bad for you guys.
I will say that What my life looks like now is a lot of self-time management. Um Working and doing school is very tiring, so like just making sure that I'm keeping everything together now. Just like what Lana was saying, like before Corona, my days would be like back to back, but since it was all on campus, I could make it through the day. Like I knew what I was doing every day. Like since classes were all looking the same around the same time, I knew when I was having lunch, I knew when I was studying, I knew when I was in the library, I knew when I was going to do my work study hours. So, like I think a lot of your day is going to be time management or what you need to figure out to do that day or what's due this week. But if you sneak like a little fun time in there, as long as you're not having a mental break, and you may have a few of those, but as long as you're not having one every day because you're relaxing from time to time, that's okay too.
And I always tell you to schedule what time, Umi?
Me time.
Every time she was the ambassador, and she would hand me her schedule and say, "I know I can do tours on this day and this day and this day in between this class." And I said,
but I knocked them out. Did I not? I came.
You did, but I always
made
sure.
And I knocked it out.
I always made sure that you had me time, and me time is anything that's going to give you that what is it called? Decompression.
Yeah.
If you want to do your nails, if you want to watch Maury at 9:00. Sorry, I live near a hospital, guys. If you want to do your nails, if you want to watch Maury at 9:00 every day, then you need to set those times aside to make sure that you are doing whatever it needs to get done for your mental well-being. Right? Shanti, Kayla, what is campus life like? Well, not you, Kayla, because you're in a whole different scenario, but Ashanti, prior to COVID, was campus life always lit, or is it something that students need to get out of their mind? Like, stop looking for a lit campus because they're just not lit every day.
Yeah, no, don't look for a lit campus. Lit is what you make it, honestly and truly. Because I remember coming in to Coppin my freshman year, we was outside making the campus lit. Like we brought our speakers outside at like 12 midnight, wait until security tell us go back inside. Like it's what you make it, honestly and truly. But the regular campus, like you don't sleep, you doing homework, you going to class all day. Then when you're not in class, you trying to knock out your assignments so you don't have everything piled up on one. You trying to make time for your friends, you going to the cafe to eat. It's really a lot. Like it's not really you don't really have fun. Like those parties that you might slip in, or those functions or those events you might slip in, you got a paper due at 11:59, but you want to go to the party for like an hour. Then you get to the party and you like, I want to stay. Then then there goes prioritizing. So it's really what you make it, and as long as you prioritize right, then your experience will be lit.
That's a very good point. Your experience is what you make it. Because that's the number one thing I get. Like, so are the parties lit? Like, do y'all have a lot of parties? Or I saw on this happened or that happened, and I try to tell students that is not the average day in the life of a college student. College students work, do homework, do schoolwork, go to class. They may have meetings to go to, and then they try to get some sleep when they can. Right. So now that the pandemic has occurred, and a lot of students are considering whether or not they should go to college, what would you say about a student who's even considering choosing Coppin during a pandemic? Should they still pursue college even outside of, because this is not going to go away. The pandemic is going to stay for a little while. So should students still consider going to college even in a pandemic?
I'll go. Oh, go ahead. I'm talking too much.
It's okay. Go ahead.
Okay. I say still go to college, because college is just not about getting the experience, but it's also being away from home. And I know it's an adjustment, because it's like now you don't have your mother telling you what to do. You don't have your dad telling you what to do. It's like you're kind of on your own time. You're choosing when to do your homework. You're choosing when to wake up for class. You're choosing if you want to go to class. You're choosing when to eat. So I say still get that opportunity to mature and get a sense of you. Like college is about finding yourself as well. So it's a good experience, even though COVID, you can't really do much on campus, but still get the chance to meet people. I know we're all not on campus, but I know it's a lot of people in the dorms, more than what I think. So you go outside, you might find your best friend. You might see a cousin that you never knew. Like, still get the experience and feel like you're on your own to see what's next for yourself.
And I know Kayla had an experience on her birthday. It was right after. You want to share that experience? How did that feel like in the middle of COVID and everybody having to social distance, but having that little birthday
On my birthday.
when you went outside? It was recorded. You recorded it. You posted it.
Okay, so yeah, so my birthday is in September. So we had just got on campus and Corona and everything, we were still getting adjusted. But um going to well, I went to like it's the HBCU thing too because it's really family oriented. But my mom surprised me outside and then the softball team and everybody else that was walking along, they joined us and happy birthday. So I would say just getting like the experience of meeting other people that you don't know, but they still like are here for you. Like they, what I'm trying to say, they still are very friendly. So I would say go ahead and continue with the education if that's really what you want to do, come to college because it's really different than home, but it's good.
Laughing. So what were you laughing about when we?
What was you saying?
Uh, I agree with Ashanti. Like I'm 50-50 because I understand like the being because I was really like after the summer was over, I was like, I gotta get out of here. Like I gotta get on campus, I gotta figure something out. Like I can't stay in this house no more. Like I gotta do something. But the other side is just like if you don't have it, you can't pull it from thin air. So I would say if you don't necessarily have to stay on campus, don't. Like if you can still take your classes, all your classes online, if you don't ever have to come to campus for nothing, I would say stay home just to save you some money because I mean, they reduced the price, but it's still thousands of dollars that you may not have. So I would just say like it's a decision that you would make. I would still definitely say still pursue college. Like don't go to school. Just don't sit around the house and do nothing. But if it's a choice between staying on campus and staying at home, I think that would be a decision that you would have to make for yourself.
Lionel, did you have anything you want to add? Should a student still consider school in a pandemic?
I would say definitely. I mean, I feel like college was one of the best choices that I made in my life. I mean, even in the pandemic, I don't regret going to school. Sometimes I regret coming back during the pandemic as far as on campus life because I'm used to seeing all my friends and I can't see them like that anymore. But at the same time, I also came back for my own personal at home reasons.
Mhm.
So, like when you said, it depends on what your situation is. But definitely, as far as getting an education, I definitely say still pursue it because at the end of the day, why not? I mean, we're still in a pandemic. I mean, you're either way, you're going to be in the house.
It's not
So,
going to go anywhere anytime
you're not
soon.
doing anything. You might as well just do something.
So I know it's okay. Lean, did you have anything that you wanted to add?
No, I agree with like what everyone has said. If you're undecided, you can at least do like some general requirements, and then maybe whenever like things get better, you can actually come on campus and like talk to like the reps of like each like advising center for like the programs that you want to get like a better perspective. But definitely keep pursuing your education, whatever you like would love to do.
Now, I know in grad school, it is very difficult for me to handle these virtual classes. At first, I was thinking, yes, I can do the classes at home. And I find it to be like nerve wracking. I wish I was on campus. I wish I could actually just go in the classroom. And I know it's been tough for everyone, but how have you been coping with virtual learning, knowing that you signed up for in person classes?
I guess for like the STEM classes, like let's say like my anatomy class, it's very challenging to learn by yourself because some of the professors they just put a pre-recorded lecture up and then you have to learn everything by yourself just by reading the textbook or like doing the study guide. But it is very beneficial that the school allowed to do like labs so that you do still get that connection with your professor and you can ask them like more questions, and they can actually explain to you on like one-on-one. So I'm very appreciative of that, but it can be very challenging when it comes to like any STEM or like math classes, because you don't have that same connection with your professors that you can go through like, each problems like very slowly and stuff like that. It's more of like learning on your own type of thing, and maybe that's not the like easiest thing for like a lot of people. So you have to adapt a little bit better to that.
Anyone else?
I agree with what Kayleen said. I'm taking chemistry right now, and I struggled like a lot actually the beginning of the semester with all my classes. I'm a very much in person, sitting in the classroom type of student. So like not being in the classroom was very hard for me. And this comes in like time management 2.0 and self accountability like 2.0. Like you really have to like sit and teach yourself stuff. Like you have to find different ways to teach yourself. Like I know with chemistry, I'm on YouTube like so much because I can't understand. I don't know what's happening. Like, so it's just like for me, I've gotten a little bit more accustomed to it. But for me, it's really just like sitting down and finding different ways to teach myself without the teacher actually really teaching me. Because some of my classes, my teachers don't even put up pre recorded um, lectures. Like they say, this is the chapters we're working on this week. This is what your test gonna be on. Figure it out. So it's just different ways for me. Was just for me trying to figure out how and what was the best way to teach myself the material without having a teacher there.
I think that's one thing that I found as a benefit. At first, it was nerve wracking, but it became a benefit because it helped me to dig a little deeper, to challenge myself to research a little more, and realize that everything doesn't always come from a book, and sometimes you'll find some more stuff outside of the given material. So that's the part that I kind of like a little bit. That was one of the benefits. But other than that, I miss being in the classroom, and I miss being on campus and seeing like my students as well. Like I just met Ashanti, and now she's gonna leave, but we'll keep in contact. So I'm about to wrap this session up. What advice? Oh, I'm sorry. One of the students had a question. How are classes on campus? Are they given in person? So right now we have hybrid. We're in the hybrid model, which means that some classes are on campus and most of the classes are remote. And we will go into the spring semester the same way. We have not developed a complete plan for fall, as things are constantly changing and we have to change with it. So they're working on that, but as things change, I'm sure the fall semester will change too. So we're not sure about fall 2021, but as of right now, we are a hybrid. So what last little tidbits of information would you like to share with incoming students? Things that you've learned over the years? Kayla, stuff that you learned between graduating in the summer and now, because I'm sure that you've learned things in that short amount of time, but what what would your last little tidbits of information be for incoming students that choose Coppin?
Okay, I'll go first. Um, so I normally tell like this when I do tours. I normally tell students three things. So I'm gonna just say all three of them. The first one is so like Kayleen probably knows because she's a part of nursing. But the first one is if you don't have a study habit, you should create one. Like I did not study before I came to college. Like I came to college and was like, okay, like I always did really good in school. I never really had to study. Man, that wasn't it. Like I had to figure out how to study. So if you don't have a study habit, try and figure one out now and work it in, figure out what works best for you with what subjects, because you may have a study habit that works for science, but it may not be the same for math. So like figuring out what your study habit is. Two, we talk about it a lot, but time management, like you're never not going to hear that anymore in your life. Like time management is going to be a key part of your life for the rest of your life. When it comes to having a job, when it comes to going to school, when it comes to doing anything, time management is going to be a really big part of college. So figuring out if you late to everything now, figuring out how you need to be on time for stuff. You know, like that's going to be a really big part. And the last thing I tell everybody is college is what you make it. So make the decision for you. Don't make the decision for anybody else. Don't make the decision for your friends, your mama, your daddy. Like, don't make it for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're paying for it and you want to have fun. You want to get a degree. You want to create lifelong like memories, friends, all that good stuff. So college is what you make it. So make it yours.
I agree with what Umi said, and my biggest like tip that I learned and I'm taking into like action this semester and this year is like redefining failure, because we're not going to be perfect at everything, and I'm very huge perfectionist when it comes to like my academics, which has been a pro and a con in my life. It motivates me, but when I don't do as well on something, I take failure very, very to heart, and I had to learn that the hard way. So I had to redefine failure. What does this mean? Like, if I failed this, maybe next time I'll do better. And it motivates me, and it makes me feel like failure is not the worst thing in the world. You can have better options if that door closes. God or whoever you believe in, like, opens a new door for you. So normalizing failure is a big thing in, like, obviously in anyone's life, but mostly like in college students, because sometimes people want us to have like our life together, and maybe things happen in life and you just have to shift around a little bit.
That is so good, Kayleen, because I'm just getting now. I'm in grad school, and I think I'm going to get my first B at the end of this semester. I'm praying that I don't, but I think I'm going to get my first B, and that's driving me crazy. But I had to realize, like, you did the best you could, and that's all you're expected to do, is to give your very best. And so, yeah, that's really, really good advice. Anyone else?
I'll go. I'll say have fun, make the best out of your experience. Really make the best out of your experience, and learn learn to write. Honestly and truly, learn to write. I didn't like writing. I did not like reading, but writing is my best friend now. Really write out your long term goals and write out your short term goals, and write out a plan on how that you're gonna meet those goals, and you can be all right.
Let me tell you, that is like y'all are dropping some jewels, because people think that no matter what field they go into, sometimes like, oh, I just want to be a nurse, I don't need to know how to write. You still need to know how to write. It's applicable in every career path that you choose. You don't realize it until you're actually in it. Nurses have to write, they have to find research, they have to write emails, and they have to know what they're talking about, and it can't just sound like you're just talking to your homegirl or your homeboy. So writing is important. Take English 101 and 102 seriously when you get to college, guys. All right, Lionel, Kayla.
I would say for me, I would say choose to hang around like-minded. It's a two-part, but the first one is choose to hang around like-minded people. Basically, and I'm trying to word this quickly. Choose to hang around people who want to excel. Don't choose to hang around people who just want to party all day, smoke, drink, just do whatever. Because at the end of the day, what is that going to do but hold you back? And you might realize that way too late compared to, you know, what you might have to do. Second is, I forgot off the top of my head, but just make sure you stay on your A game. That's what I would say. Because at the end of the day, make your connections, hang around the right people. Now, I'm not saying be a goody two shoes. You're going to get into some stuff. You're going to be a college student. I'm a college student. You're going to make mistakes, but just do the best you can, because this is the time where you can make mistakes and get back from compared to what being in the real world would be like.
I agree with both of them. I always tell students, you are as rich as the 6 closest people around you. So if they're not making any money, you're not making any money. So definitely take that like-minded, people, hang around people with a like-mindedness. Yes, definitely do that. And Kayla, since you're the baby, not the baby, but you know what I mean, the youngest on the call, what did you learn that you would share with incoming students? What have you learned between graduating in the summer and now?
I would say I learned to not be afraid to get out of your comfort zone. Because I graduated and like I thought we was gonna have prom and graduation and everything, and then it's like in a split second everything changed. And then coming into college in a pandemic, it's just like you have to be prepared for the unexpected. So, with not saying it in a bad way, but just get out of your comfort zone, be able to get around people. When you meet new people, being on the I made new friends getting on the court that I don't even really stay on campus. Kelly stays on campus, but others, since we're in the pandemic, not a lot of people are here. But I would say that. And also, going back to the time management thing, it is really a big, I can't think of the word, but it's a good thing to have because coming out of high school, we were in high school for 8 hours a day, going to classes back to back to back. But in college, you don't. You might have a class every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I would just say be able to schedule yourself out. Make sure you're not. So what am I trying to say? Like, don't have everything. You know what I'm trying to say.
Be flexible.
Yes, be flexible with what you're trying to do. Yes, because it's going to be so different, but it's a good difference. So just time management and don't forget to get out of your comfort zone.
Awesome. Well, I thank you guys so much. I'm glad I get to see your faces virtually, even though I don't get to see y'all every day. I miss y'all. I do. But thank you guys so much. I hope that the rest of the semester goes well for you, that you are going to do well. We're going to claim it right now. You're going to do very well in your finals, and everybody gets A's. That's what I'm putting that out in the atmosphere for y'all. But thank you guys so much. Students who joined in and students who will join this session after it's already been aired, you can feel free to contact me on Instagram if you would like to at college_signing, like you're signing your name, _J. And if you have any questions, you can feel free to leave them there. Do any of you have any Instagram pages that you suggest that students follow for Coppin?
The Coppin Room.
The Coppin Room, at the Coppin Room? Anything?
At CSU SAPB.
At CSU SAPB.
TLT Blog Show.
TLT Blog Show. So there you go, at the Coppin Room, at CSU SAPB, and at TLT. What was it? TLT
Blog Show.
Blog Show. So if you would like to follow us on those social media pages, please do. And we hope to see you guys in the fall. Bye.